Are you struggling with sorting a list in Java using Lambda expressions? It can be a bit tricky, but don't worry, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to tackle this issue together. I totally understand how frustrating it can be when your code doesn't compile, especially when you're trying to implement something as useful as sorting with Lambda. You're definitely not alone in this. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. One user recently asked, "How can I sort a list using Lambda in Java 8? They provided a code snippet, but encountered a compilation error." Sound familiar? Let's break it down. So what went wrong? The error message indicates a type mismatch, which usually happens when the return type of your Lambda expression doesn't match what the sort method expects. Let's clarify this step by step. And stick around. At the end, I'll share a pro tip that will help you avoid these kinds of errors in the future. To resolve the compilation error, the user should first understand that the sort method requires a comparator that returns an integer. This integer indicates the order of the two objects being compared. Next, the user needs to modify the Lambda expression to return an integer value. Instead of subtracting the time values directly, the user should use the long.compare method. Now the user should ensure that the getTime method returns a long value. This is important because the long.compare method expects long arguments. Finally, the user can run the updated code. This should resolve the compilation error and allow the list to be sorted correctly by the time attribute. Fun fact: did you know that Lambda expressions were introduced in Java 8 to help make functional programming easier? It's a game changer for developers. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggested by another user is to use the comparator class for sorting. Instead of subtracting the time values directly, they recommend using comparator.comparing to create a natural sort order based on the time of each message. If you need to sort by multiple fields, you can chain comparators. For example, to sort by time and then by sender, you can use then comparing. To reverse the order of sorting, you can use the reversed method. For instance, to sort by time in descending order and then by sender, you can chain reversed. Now, let's see a response from a different user. An alternative solution provided by a user highlights that the compare method must return an integer. The original code returns a long, which causes a compilation error. They suggest using long.compare to fix this issue. That's it for that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative approach provided by a user involves using a comparator for sorting. They suggest defining a comparator for your class, in this case, developer. The comparator compares the names of two developer objects using the compare_to method. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always ensure that the return types in your Lambda expressions match the expected types in the method you're using. This simple check can save you a lot of headaches. And there you have it. Your sorting issue should be resolved now. Remember, checking return types is crucial in Java. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and don't miss our next video where we dive deeper into Java 8 features.